All right, how's it going, everyone? Today we're doing a review of a company called Republic. What is Republic? Republic is one of the first, and I would say the leading brand in equity crowdfunding. Now, when you hear the word crowdfunding, you might think, oh, it's a competitor to Kickstarter, it's a competitor to Indiegogo. But no, equity crowdfunding actually means it's a competitor to venture capital, or it's a competitor to like private equity. So ultimately, Republic allows anybody to invest in early stage startups. Now, before we go into how this works, let's talk about why this is groundbreaking. Well, for decades, only accredited investors could invest in startups. And what is an accredited investor? An accredited investor is someone with a net worth over $1 million outside of their home, or someone that makes $200,000 for 2 years in a row. And then there's a couple other kind of reasons someone could be an accredited investor. But if you're not one of those, you can't get the upside of $1 billion companies. You can't get rich off startups, and that's not great because basically the private markets and with wealth creation in the private markets is the primary way that people get wealthy. It's equity in companies that appreciate in value, but it's locked out to average people like you and me who aren't already rich, who didn't inherit wealth, who haven't already worked decades to accumulate that wealth. So Republic ultimately is a platform for people like us. As you can see here, it says invest in the future you believe in, access highly vetted investment opportunities in the startups, real estate, video games, and crypto. We will be talking about specifically startups here because this is a YouTube channel for startups. So, what Republic does is they take advantage of newly created laws. Ultimately, in 2015, there was a Jobs Act, which ultimately allows for non-accredited investors to get equity stakes in startups. And Republic has kind of jumped on that and built a company around that. So, as you see here, if we want to invest in startups, there is a list of different startups that we can invest in, and it shows the traction. So Tap RM, it's a platform for everything beer. They've already raised $1.3 million from almost 2,000 investors. And check this out, the minimum investment is $100. So although you won't get that much of a payback if it doesn't do well, this allows anyone to invest in startups. So let's keep scrolling. Let's see something that's interesting. Democratizing wealth building with crypto and the ownership economy. This is interesting. Let's take a look and see what it looks like to invest in Linen. So we're going to click the link. We're going to see that there's about 200 days left to invest, which is great. There's 3,000 investors. We have the video that we can watch. You can see the co-investors, so you show that it's vetted. And look, this is pretty interesting, right? There's a lot of information about this investment opportunity. Lots of information. This isn't just like, oh, I want to raise money, throw it up on Republic. You have to go through a lot of vetting and ultimately ensure that people are going to invest, that it's going to be, a win. Look at all this information, right? So you have all this. There's a discussion. So if you want to see what other people are thinking about for the potential investment, you click the discussion. And you can see the questions people have, things like that. You have updates from the startups. Then, of course, you have reviews of people that have invested or potentially tried the products. And what's really big about this is that, this is a company that's, they raised $2.7 million, but you could still get in there and get the benefit of investing in a private company. So I'll give you an idea of what companies I've invested in. I've invested in about 5 companies. I put in about $100 each over the last year. I'm not wealthy. I'm fairly broke at this point in my life, so I can only invest about $100 at a time. But I'll show you the companies I've invested in and why I invested in them. So as you can see here, I'm going to go to my profile. It's pretty cool, right? It says I'm an active investor. It says I'm a value-add investor. That's great. They're trying to make angel investing social, which is fun. If we go to my portfolio, you can see that I've invested in, so I canceled my Gumroad investment. I invested in Manta Biofuel, which is a company ultimately creating, how do you describe this? I'll just let them describe it. Manta Biofuel they're ultimately creating gas created from plants. I'm trying to find where I can click into Manta Biofuel. Here we go. So Manta Biofuel is a cost competitive renewable replacement for fossil fuels made from algae. There it is ultimately replaces fossil fuels from algae. And I thought this was really interesting. I saw the valuation cap was $6 million. Saw the discount was 25%, and the minimum investment was $150. So I put in $150 here. And the reason I put this in was not because I think I'm going to get a massive return, but it's because I believe in the future that they're creating, right? I think that, creating climate centric tech, sustainable tech to kind of get the planet back on the right track is really important. And if I can actually invest in a company working on that, that's really special, even as a non-accredited investor. So these are some of the things that you're able to do with Republic. To give you an idea, some of the other things I invested is I'm an LP in Backstage Capital. I invested in a company called Fleeting, Back Porch Homes, and Eventify. So that's 5 or 6 companies I've invested in. And ultimately, what's exciting about Republic is that they're kind of evangelizing angel investing. So you can click invest here, but you can also learn, right? So you're able to learn what is there to do with investing. Why should I invest? How should I invest? You can see this in an event coming up in the next 3 days on the economy of female pleasure, which ultimately is sex tech. Which companies are in sex tech? Where are the investable opportunities in sex tech, right? There is ultimately some aurora around Republic, which is evangelizing investing for the masses. What's cool about Republic is they have a app. So if you see a company launched on Republic that you want to invest in, you can literally invest on your mobile device in a click of a couple buttons. I think that Republic could be one element of the future of investing, simply because they've already raised their Series A. I believe they're farther ahead than any of the other competitors. And also the way they're angling everything is pretty intelligent, right? They're not just for startups. They're allowing you to invest in real estate, video games, crypto, etc. And I think that their branding is kind of top notch in the way that they talk to people like they're beginning investors, but they want to learn more. And on the other side, if you're a startup that you want to raise from Republic, I haven't done this myself, so I can't tell you exactly what that looks like. But ultimately, they have a whole process. They vetting, in regards to how much you raise, the cost is pretty inexpensive. It's just the first company that is broken out in regards to consumer investing if you're not accredited. And I'm pretty excited to see where it goes. So if you want to learn more about Republic, just go to republic.co. Tell your friends about it, and if they're interested in what's going on here, why is it interesting, send them this video, and hopefully this will educate them. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and if you like this video, give me a like. Thanks for watching.